Albert Records.
Ah, lovely. Kill the seed, tell them.
Malon so ballet. Beauty no be for cream, I beg masses respecting nature. No be nyash and lash men, go give you good behavior. The scale like I am matter, you go use for finding husband. Them say you no get plans. Every day you pray for church, the pray to invisible God. They God we no fit talk, they God we no fit see. Sister, no mind, no, we no say na poverty. I know for me, no more, I know for me. I know for me, no more, I know for me. If you no get today, if you get them tomorrow. If you no get today, you go get them tomorrow.
Thank you, Gilly. Now so we do case study. Case study. Better oh, that in this way I've been to tell you oh, better oh, lady you know she gon' better oh, yeah one shower do some more, kuma take your visaki me your waist oh, better oh, imuya malala mo better oh, chang wa yo wouldn't know better oh, lady and my keyboard don't go up by the figure. Bamboke sumo betra o sa gwejem la wole do betra o imuye adu fume betra o adu fume betra o imuye kitane betra o if you don't get today you go get them tomorrow.
I know for me, no more, I know for me. I know for me, no more, I know for me. If you no get today, if you get them tomorrow. If you no get today, you go get them tomorrow. If you no get today, if you get them tomorrow. If you no get today, you go get them tomorrow. Sugar go chamu mutu, hotel it on sing malon darling. Forget about the car, forget about the makeup, cause the beauty of a woman lies in her heart. Them say you no get plans. Every day you pray for church, they pray to invisible God. They God we no fit talk, they God we no fit see. My sister no mind, no we no say na poverty. I know for me,
DJ Cliff exclusive, sir.
I know for me, no more, no get today, you go get them tomorrow.
Hello all, welcome. Good afternoon, good morning. I think it's morning in California. It is evening in Cameroon and in Europe. And it is afternoon in New York. So welcome. My name is Jude Okwan. I am the publisher at Spears Books. Can you all hear me? All right, awesome. Thumbs up.
Yes, we can, Jude.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. It is my singular delight to welcome everyone to this amazing book launch. We are gathered to celebrate one of our own, someone who has been a mentor, a scholar, a father, a husband. He's many things. But we are gathering today to celebrate his academic works. And the book that we are celebrating is called Basel Mission Education in Cameroon. So this book came out during COVID, and we think this is just the most opportune moment to, again, share it with the world and to let people know about its amazing contents. So for those of you who are just joining, again, welcome. This event is being live streamed on Facebook, and we look forward to an amazing 2 hours with you all. For those who do not know about our publishing platform, we are known as PS Media Press, and the imprint is PS Books. We have been operating for 9 years, and our mission is to tell African stories. We specialize in publishing Afrocentric stories. We want to shine a light to those authors who otherwise may not have a platform to tell their stories. And so our mission and our refrain, our catchword is a platform for alternative voices. We have an editorial board made up of stellar and accomplished scholars in their own right. Some of them are here with us today. And thank you for all the contributions that you've been making to see that our vision, our collective vision, is moved or pushed forward. In terms of our launch today, in terms of this event specifically, we will be led by two co-moderators. The first of them is Walter. Walter, are you there? So Walter Nkwi, who is a professor of history at Leiden University, will be co-hosting, co-moderating this event. And then we have Nixon as well. I'll say a few things about each of them. So Walter, formerly of the University of Boya, is an ethnographer, a historian, and he's written extensively on the social history of the grass fields and beyond. He is also an editorial board member. He's been a co-member from the founding of this platform, and he also co-edits the series. And this book that we are launching today was the first in the series, the history series. You would hear more about the history series from its co-editor, who is Womai Song. So again, thank you, Walter, for being here and for accepting to co-moderate this event. We couldn't be more grateful for your support. I would say a few things about Nixon. Nixon Tako is currently Associate Professor of History and Head of the Department of History and Archaeology at the Faculty of Arts, University of Bamenda. Nixon is holder of a BA in history, a matrice, a DEA, and a PhD in economic and social history, all from the University of Yaoundé 1. Before joining the university system in 2011, he was a professional history educator with first DPES 1 and second DPES 2, secondary and high school teaching diplomas, respectively, from the ENS Annex Bambili. Prior to his PhD in 2011, he was a Huygens Scholar from 2007 to 2009 at Leiden, where he completed an MPhil in African Studies, specialized in development and social change. He's a member and technical advisor of the Cameroon History Society. He's also a current assessor of the Cameroon GCE Board, O-Level History. He has published a host of peer-reviewed articles and book chapters. His teaching and research interest over the years have permeated on aspects of economic and social history, culture, heritage and identity issues, and historical theory. So please join me to welcome these two phenomenal co-moderators. They would be the ones anchoring us throughout this event. And we look forward to, again, like I said, an awesome 2 hours with all of them, with all of you, and a host of other people who would join us to, again, celebrate this book for what it is. So thank you and enjoy yourselves. I would pass this over to the moderators.
Thank you very much, Jude, and thank everybody who has sacrificed to be here for this intellectual ritual, if I may call, to celebrate Professor Gwanfogbe's intellectual red feather. As a moderator, I am in charge of also introducing my who is Taco Nixon, whom Jude has just introduced. And the floor will be given to Nixon, who knows more and who will tell us more about Professor Gwanfogbe. Over to you, Nixon.
So it looks like Nixon is not yet in.
He's not yet there, okay.
Can anyone confirm if Nixon is indeed in the house?
I don't think.
Okay. So if Nixon is not in the house, I will go ahead and introduce our author. Is that okay with you, Mr. Moderator?
Perfect.
Okay. So please bear with me 1 second. Okay. So greetings once again. Let me share with you a brief introduction of our author. Dr. Mathew Gwanfogbe obtained a PhD in history from the University of London, England in 1995. His career as an educationist started as a teacher at the Government Bilingual High School, Boya, in 1973, shortly after graduating in the same year with a degree in history from the University of Yaoundé. After 5 years teaching, he was appointed as Provincial Pedagogic Inspector for History in 1978 in the Northwest Province. Between 1979 and 1993, he served in various educational administration positions in Cameroon, including National Inspector, Provincial Delegate for Education in the Northwest Province, Principal of Government Bilingual High School, Bamenda, from 1989 to 1993. In 2004, he was appointed Director Delegate of École Normale Supérieure, Annex Bambili, a position he held until 2008, when he was made Director of ENS Bambili. He served as an administrator of the University of Bamenda from 2010 to 2011. He was the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Bamenda University of Science and Technology, BUST, from 2012 to 2014, and later Vice Chancellor of the same institution from 2014 to 2019. As a teacher and pedagogic inspector, he developed and published teaching materials in his subject area. His book, Geography of Cameroon for Secondary Schools, published by Macmillan Publishers in '83, was widely used in schools in Cameroon. His other publications include this is in French now, A Régime Politique by Haitier Publishers, Paris, and Du Cadre Familial à la Région by the same publishers. Macmillan Atlas for Cameroon Schools, Lower Primary History and Upper Primary History were all published by Macmillan Publishers in '85 and '86 respectively. His research has been published in peer-reviewed journals. His book, Changing Regimes and the Development of Education in Cameroon, was published by Spears Media Press in 2018. Dr. Gwanfogbe has dedicated his knowledge and expertise to documenting aspects of Balinyonga history and settlement. As part of a seminar work co-edited with fellow Bali scholars in tribute to His Royal Highness Galigal II in 1998, he wrote a chapter on the geographical and historical introduction of Balinyonga Kingdom. More recently, he contributed 2 chapters in Balinyonga Migration and Geography in an edited volume on Balinyonga, published by Spears Media Press in 2018. That volume was edited by Professor Vincent Titanji. Now on retirement, he enjoys spending time with his family and friends and also supervises PhD thesis. So this is the amazing person we are celebrating today. So please join me to welcome him with a hand of applause there. Thank you all. And I think this is, I'm going to give it back to the moderator. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jude, for being there as a backup. Thank you very much. That was very good of you. Otherwise, it would have been stranded here. I think now I will comment on the book, which we are celebrating this evening. I call evening, I'm sorry, because of time difference, I am in the evening. So bear with me. That is evening here. And actually, there is the Basel Mission Education in Cameroon, 1886 to 1968. And I think Prof Gwanfogbe will not take me to task if I say that this appears to me the volume 2 of a volume 1. Because this is published in 2018, Changing Regimes and Educational Development in Cameroon. Yeah. And this appears to be a follow-up of the Changing Regimes and Educational Development in Cameroon.
Yeah, right.
With overlapping themes, which I really find interesting. For a very long time, colonial education has actually preoccupied scholars in Africa, south of the Sahara. Either we are looking at it from West Africa, Central Africa, South Africa, scholars of history have done a lot. At the nascent independent years of Africa, many scholars appear to see colonialism or missionaries as secular wings of imperialism. It was often said that missionaries came out to facilitate the work of the colonial powers. And that was strongly held for a very long time. That was strongly held. What I find quite interesting in the book of Professor Gwanfogbe is he's debunked this conventional way of just looking at missionaries as secular wings of imperialism. Missionaries are trying now to enter the developmental paradigm. And so if you look at the Basel Mission, which is actually the focus of the two books, the Basel Mission took a different turn. Because when the Basel Mission came into the grass fields, which was to Cameroon, I think the official language of the Basel Mission was Munganga. And they took that up. That was one of the missionaries that you see them actually taking people from where they met them and tried to make sense of what they made. And so in the book of Professor Gwanfogbe, Africanization, if I could call it, or appropriation, runs very deep in the book. Well, you see the African agency in the Basel Mission, the role which our grandparents played, and the development of the Basel Mission actually was on the back and on the shoulders of the Africans themselves. And this led me to go closer to our legend, Patrick Lumumba, who teaches us Africans to write our own history, to date our own history, write our own history, use our own sources. I find that very interesting. So three main issues I see in this book, which we need to take that home, is the boldness of imagination. Professor Gwanfogbe situates the book with real boldness and takes it all along from volume 1, which I called it volume 1, and then on volume 2. The stories are really fantastic. And within the brackets of this boldness of imagination, I find what I would call the fertility of the hypothesis. What is it that he wants to show? What is the message in the book that he wants to show? Prof Gwanfogbe, in a very lucid way and a very simple way, shows us the role of Basel Mission in three different colonial and post-colonial regimes. We find the missionaries within the context of the German colonial Cameroon. We find them again within the British and the French, and we find them again in post-colonial Cameroon. And then he concludes with what I would prefer to call the beauty in the construction of the story. Quite beautiful. And that said, I think I will also tickle Professor Gwanfogbe. I will tickle you, Prof, and give you another job, because this is never complete. You will still go back to the writing table again. What I seemingly would have loved to find here is the life histories of some of the remaining relics, call it the remaining islets of those people who were implicated in these processes. For example, if I don't know how many are still surviving, but you will likely find people who either witnessed it or who actually lived the experience of the Basel educational development. I want to think so. And then the photographs are very excellent. I see very excellent photographs. But in the frontispiece of Basel Mission Education in Cameroon, I think that some of these photographs would have really been found in the text, inside the text. And added more to this, I have something in common with you. We have crossed paths in the Basel Mission Archives. Because I remember doing work in the Basel Mission Archives, call it Mission 21 Archives, which really have tons and tons of photographs. You might be able to take a flight again, touch down in Basel, and knock their doors again, if you never took home a lot of photographs there. Because what makes history now more interesting and more appealing is once you get these photographs intersected into this in the text, it becomes more and more interesting to read. I think that is what I really thought that I could say. You could take that home, and we can build on that. I still really have the hard drive that I took away from the Basel Mission. I moved it in my bag. I don't know how we can trade it. We can trade it in the way. I don't know how you can get it, but I still have the pictures, a lot of pictures. And within these pictures, you can see within a split of a second how much African agency was in these missionaries' activities.
Tell me to go to YouTube, and I went to YouTube, but it's not showing me how to log into it.
I will send it, I will forward it to your
We have a little bit of a
That
problem.
is very good. Very good.
With background noise. Please mute
Yeah, it's
yourself.
background.
Yes, just mute yourself. I think if Bobby Walter, yeah, I think if we have to go back to our program, thank you very much for that phenomenal commentary on the Professor Gwanfogbe's book. I think let's go back to our program, the schedule, and I think this is an opportunity to invite him to say a few words to the attendees. So I think I'll just I would step in to fill in for Nixon, since he's not here. So you and I will just go back and forth to moderate this event. So let me call on Professor Gwanfogbe to welcome attendees and to acknowledge everyone who is here.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk. I want to start by thanking Spears Publishing House for making it possible for this event to take place today. And I thank you, Jude, very specially, because you have been very encouraging. You insisted on getting this work published, and the two books, you did them almost side by side. And I'm very happy that you got them through. I want to thank all friends and family members and colleagues who are attending. It's unfortunate there is a serious burial of Dr. Nasser taking place in Buea today, which has preoccupied many of the people that asked to attend in Buea. And I owe a ton of gratitude, especially to my former students who are presently my colleagues, for all that they have done to make me what I am. I think Professor Walter Nkwi has said so much good things, which I thank him. He's asking me to get back on the writing table. If you look at my face, you know that I am tired and almost worn out. And I have prepared people well enough. Some of them are on the same track like me. And I think we'll pass this task to them, and hopefully they should be able to accomplish them in the very near future. Truly speaking, we need to write, and I tried to write about the Cameroonians who actually participated in making Basel Mission succeed. But the information was rare. And when I went to Basel and found a bunch of information there, it was not easy for me actually to filter it and be able to get the basic essentials. So the book we are launching today is on the history of education. And you know very well that in Cameroon, there are very few books on the history of education. It's when I studied in Nigeria that I found that that was a very developed area. And I think the history of education needs to be told. It needs to be told because development that lies on education. We change patterns, and these patterns have to be known. And it can only be known when teachers actually tell the younger ones that things have changed from this to this, so that they can be able to see how they can engage with the new developments. Unfortunately, we are not that engaged. The other book, Changing Regimes and the Development of Education in Cameroon, analyzes the development of education following the changing regimes caused by the two world wars. You know, when the Germans were thrown out in the First World War, education almost totally stopped in Cameroon. And when the Germans were thrown out again during the Second World War, education was again temporarily stopped, especially Basel Mission. So this analysis gives us a reason as to why there were gaps in our educational system, which has affected current educational system. That's the post-colonial educational system. And it is actually very important for us to know that some of the problems that we face in the education system today are the problems that were inherited from the colonial period because of the different events and activities that occurred at the time. If things were to run smoothly, probably we would have had a better educational system. So we need to find out, why is there falling standards in education today? How can history help us to fill the gap in some of the weaknesses that we follow? Is it the missionaries, since it was predominantly under missionary control during the colonial period? Or is it now the post-colonial Cameroonian leaders that are handling education? So this, again, I said, are areas of research that need to be exploited. I'm not going to tell a lie. I am already tired. I will not be directly involved, but I'll be helpful to the young ones who would enter and follow up. Thank you again very much. I hope we'll have more chances to exchange. I thank you all for the very nice words that you have expressed.
We can't hear you, Jude. You seem to be muted.
Let me see. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think my microphone went off. So my apologies. I was just acknowledging Professor Gwanfogbe for his leadership, for the pioneering role he's played in multiple domains, and also for the scholarship. I think that he has inspired and passed on the baton to other people who would go on, as he rightly said, to research some of the things that he mentioned, along with the things that Professor Nkwi talked about. So there is a lot to be done. I also just want to acknowledge here the presence of one of our authors, who is also a seasoned educationist, Dr. Mathew B. So, Doctor, we are so pleased that you could join us, and hopefully we would hear from you as the program unravels. Walter, are you there? You too, you're muted, Walter. Okay, we are having issues here. Can you unmute yourself? Let's see. Let me see if I can unmute you. So
fantastic.
I'm not sure what's going on, but
It's okay.
He's on now.
It's okay.
All
yeah.
right.
Can you take over all over again, Jude? What did you say?
Oh no, I was saying that you could introduce the next segment. I'm looking at our program here.
Yeah.
And we have to keep this rolling. So after a word from the author, we should be introducing the chief launcher. Do we know if the chief launcher is here? We have several of them. If there is, the first person is not there, I can recognize one of them who is here with us, and that is Alex Ngati. He is also known as Bankom Bitbila. So I think I would introduce him briefly and invite him to say a few words. And so, yeah. So Alex Ngati is a very, very well-known leader within the Bali community and beyond. He was formerly within the education sector in Cameroon. He himself was a teacher. And his relationship with the author goes way, way back into the 90s. And he has been one of those phenomenal people to support not only the work we do at Spears Media Press, he's also here to serve as one of the chief launchers. So I would like to welcome Alex Ngati. If you're there, please, you have the floor.
Is he there?
Yeah, I
Are
am
you there?
I am here. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well, Doctor, it's quite humbling. I honestly did not even think that I would be one of the launcher, but like you rightly said, will go way, 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 way back with Prof Gwanfogbe, whom I fondly call him out of abundance of respect. He is my big brother that I am ineffectively struggling to emulate, to be like him. If everyone was to be like Prof, then I think we'll have a much, much peaceful world. In it, I've never encountered somebody of his caliber. I have not read the book yet, but anything that Prof writes, if I see his name there, and even it is blank, be rest assured I'll buy it, just because of my love and admiration for him. My encounter with him started way back, the early 80s, when I went to his house multiple times, and he rendered a favor to me by facilitating the admission of my little sister into GBHS at that time when there was only one in the Northwest province. And he didn't know me. He didn't ask for my name. And you know, I know not everybody is Bali, but you know, Bali people, it's very common to know more. Who are you? What is your name? And things like that. He did something to me which I will forever be indebted to him. I am very discouraged and disappointed to hear that he's retired from writing, that he needs to go rest, because I second the other facilitator who said, we need more, your job is not yet done. Sometimes in life, there is a message which may be good, but it may be delivered by a messenger that is not trustworthy. But in your case, you are well believable in everything that you do, in everything that you've said. You are like those kind of unsung hero within our community. But your place is unrivaled. There are a lot of us who truly wants to be like you. We don't even think we'll ever come close, not even 20% of it, for what you've done to people and for what you've done. I am a living testimony for that. So when I got an opportunity to participate in this year launching, despite the fact that I know my schedule is very hectic, I could not hesitate. I would put anything on hold and just to be here. And I don't know whether Professor Jude needs to said this. I actually dialed in yesterday thinking that I was late. And it is because I typically do my haircut on Fridays, but I did it this week on Thursday. So for some reason, I assumed my Friday was a Saturday. And I struggled so many times, I was frustrated until he came on and let me know that, no, it is today. And despite the fact that I'm still very busy, I said I will still find time to come and support you, a prof, named Mati, that I fondly call. And without much ado, and without talking too much, because if I have to enumerate everything, and even my Helen ended up being more of the bigger sister in our life, employing my junior brother up to today that he's in Yaoundé struggling. And the love that your family had shown to mine without any condition is such things that I could never ask for a better big brother and a role model. So I will open this lunch with purchasing 30 copies of that book. Am I still on?
Yes, we heard you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That is phenomenal. Thank you, Bankom. We truly appreciate you. We appreciate your remarks. And you have opened it in a big and solid way. So I'm going to call on one more chief launcher. And this time I will call on another big brother, his family to many of us as well. This is Professor Hyson Sama Nwana. Professor Nwana, are you there? All right, I see he's in the house. Maybe he's getting to his desk. In the meantime, I think we will while waiting for him, the way the program is, we would have the chief launchers to launch initially, and then we have other launchers. Although we have a long list, we will not call names. I think what we'll do is we'll invite people to simply indicate that they would like to participate as a launcher, and then we'll give them the opportunity to express themselves. Is Professor Nkwana there now, or did we lose him? Okay, doesn't look like he's in the house. I think there's a technical glitch because he was there a few moments ago. So we'll come back to him. I think we'll just keep this open now. Again, this is where we invite all the attendees. Okay, I think he is coming back now. Let me see what's going on. Just 1 second. Please bear with us. Sometimes you have these technical glitches. We don't plan for them. Okay. Professor Nkwana, are you there? Can you hear me? Awesome, awesome. We have him. Welcome back. So this is one of the chief launchers, and over to you.
So Nijut, sorry, when you called on me, I could not unmute myself because I did not have the right to unmute myself. So I am really, truly proud to be on the platform today. I declare very big interest that Professor Gwanfogbe is my father, my direct uncle, my mom's direct brother. So forgive me if some of my remarks are a bit biased, because it's true. Professor Gwanfogbe has actually inspired me to write a book on our culture. He's one of the 2 or 3 people who have actually inspired me to write a book currently in consideration under Spears Media as well. I've not seen this current book, but I would definitely, I've definitely digested with significant voraciousness a lot of what Professor Gwanfogbe has already written, certainly the 2 chapters of the book edited by Titanji, and even other chapters that he's co-written with my late father, Professor Elias Uwana. So I've read a lot of his stuff. So there's going to be no reason why I would not read this one on the Basel Mission. I've also visited Basel archives myself in Germany to pull out some of the pictures of my late great-grandfather, 2 great-grandfathers, one of them who I succeeded. So I know a bit about the Basel Mission in Germany. But I just want to say big, big congratulations to Professor Gwanfogbe and Najala Gwanfogbe as well for having provided a significant inspiration, including to people like me to write about subjects which are completely outside my domain, my normal domain of expertise. That really happened because of the sort of encouragement that I saw, both him as my father, Professor Gwanfogbe, and my late father, Professor Elias Uwana as well, who have been writing in these areas. And so similarly to Bankom Gwadbibilia near Alex Ngati, as I'll call him myself affectionately, I will also do a command of 30 books as well, so that I can distribute to friends and family. So thank you very much, Professor Fokwa.
Thank you so much, Professor Nkwana. And indeed, we look forward to your own book coming out. I know it's being edited by a host of some of our own folks. And so we are proud that you were inspired to take that big leap. So yeah. All right, over to the moderator, co-moderator, Walter.
Yes.
What next do we have?
I think now we go into a very crucial part of a more crucial part. Let me not say crucial, as if other parts are not crucial. It should be the introduction of the reviewer Are you with me, Jude? Are we on the same
yes.
platform?
I am.
Okay.
We skipped something.
What was that?
So I just got reminded about what we had skipped by Womai.
Okay.
So I think before we proceed with the, so take a look at item number 3 of our program. We want to go back to that. So my apologies again. I think it's all part of the challenge that we had at the very start without the co-host who ought to be here. And so there was a bit of a disruption with our
program.
Yeah.
Oh,
bear with us,
I get it. Oh, sorry. I get it. Oh,
please bear with us.
Sorry. No.
It happens. It's not the end of the world, and we can fix it.
Oh my God. Oh my, thank you for being there. Take the floor. Take the floor for the easy series. Thank you.
So before I think I bring those two in, I want to introduce both of them. So there's Lillian Atanga. So again, for our attendees, we want to say a few words about the series. So this book that we are launching today.
Hi, Jude, unmute yourself again, We don't get you. Hello, Jude. No, you are not still there. We are not getting you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm having a technical issue. It's a hardware issue. My microphone goes up by itself, so I'm not sure. This is the first time it's happening. I need to check my connections. I was saying that I need to introduce these two individuals, a gentleman and a lady. Womai Song, who is going to say a few words about the history series. The book we are launching was published as part of this series. Womai Song has been with Spears Books since 2019, and he very graciously accepted to be the series editor for the history series, and he's going to be saying a few things about that. So he's one of my collaborators, one of those who is pushing forward the mission of our platform and to see that it succeeds. The other person is Professor Lillian Atanga, formerly of the University of Bamenda. She is actually, I should say, from the very day one that Spears became an item. She has been with us. She is a co-editorial member of the press, and she also very graciously accepted to chair the gender series back in 2019 when we conceived of the book series. And so I'll be inviting each of them to say a few words about the book series that we do have at the press. So Womai, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jude and Walter, for giving me the floor. Can you hear me?
Yes, 50 on 50.
All right, thank you so much. As Jude introduced me, my name is Womai Song, a son of Com, and I'm an assistant professor of history and African American studies at Elam College in Indiana. On behalf of the editorial and advisory board of Spears Studies in African and African Diaspora History, I thank you all present for having found time from your busy schedules to participate in this book launch. I also congratulate Professor Gwanfogbe for this original contribution to knowledge on Cameroon's historical experience. My special word of gratitude and appreciation goes particularly to the Fonkwangs and their team for a platform for alternative voices in Spears Media. With the gatekeeping and colonization of the knowledge production arena by Western publishing houses, this platform is not only a breath of fresh air and source of hope for African scholars, but also a major step in Africa's journey towards complete decolonization in the academia. This is particularly important given the epic nature of colonialism in Africa. This book launch today formally launches Pierre's Books African and African Diaspora History book series, and its editorial and advisory board made up of distinguished scholars in Africa, Europe, and North America are very excited for this moment. Born about 3 years ago, the history book series' strong inclination is to project the centering of the African experience in the reconstruction of the history of Africa, and especially its modern global diaspora. For the African continent, while open to cutting-edge research in other realms, the series is particularly interested in social history of Africa, with focus on music, dance, marriage, architecture, family, life, and fashion, amongst other themes. As far as the African diaspora is concerned, the series distinguishes itself by its particular emphasis on the late modern African diaspora, seeking original research that study the experiences of recent African immigrants in the United States, Europe, South America, the Caribbean islands, and Asia. Researchers are challenged to reflect on how these immigrants impact cultures of host countries, how they relate to one another in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, and their coping techniques vis-a-vis the daily challenges of the color line, which W.E.B. Du Bois predicted in 1900 and which has been at the center of the African diaspora historical and contemporary experience. We encourage authors to be both Afrocentric and interdisciplinary in their research methodology and analysis. I must also emphasize that while very rigorous in their review and recommendation of manuscript for publication, the editorial and advisory board of our history series, unlike many in the Western publishing houses, is very expeditious in feedback to potential authors, context considerate in decision-making, and religiously dedicated to the mentorship of especially young scholars in the research and publishing process. For the sake of time, this in a nutshell is Pierre's Books History Series. For details on how to submit a manuscript, please log into our website at www.spearmedia.com/bookseries. Please do us the kind favor of sharing the word to our departments and other academic circles. Thank you for your attention. Congratulations again to Professor Gwanfogbe. Wishing all of you an exciting and rewarding experience during this book launch. I yield back the floor.
Thank you very much, Ignatius. I think Jude will introduce the next speaker, who is Lillian. I think so.
Yes, I just got a message from her. She's unfortunately not available, so we will not be hearing from Lillian.
But do you have something which you can brief the floor on the gender series?
Not currently. We did not anticipate her absence.
Okay.
Yes. But again, I think what I would do is just invite, again, those who might be interested in reading more about it to visit our website, the one that Womai just gave you, so spearsmedia.com/book series. You would read more about the history series and more about the gender series. There are lots of other panelists, people who are part and parcel of that platform, those who would review those manuscripts, give you feedback, and of course, ensure that it gets published. So again, thank you all. I think now that we have heard from Womai, it is important that we move on to, after the chief launchers, we would want to invite the launchers to, introduce themselves and tell us exactly how they hope to support our author for today. So this is where we would just keep it open. If you have plans to become a chief launcher, please use the hand tool, raise your hand, and we would call you to introduce yourself. So we'll devote about 5 to 10 minutes for this phase, and then we'll move on to the next item. So if you would like to be a launcher, in other words, you want to support this book, you want to purchase a copy for yourself or for others, this is an opportunity for you to indicate and to also say hello to the author and to others who are here. So again, it's open. All right, I'm going to invite Marie, Professor Fongwa. Over to you.
Our Nimati and Bankom Gwan Bidbila said it, we fondly call him Nimati. Congratulations to you for this great job. And I put a little note on the chart. We need history to tell us the truth about how it was so we can move to tomorrow in the right direction. So Ni, we are still here to support you, even though you feel tired, but we are here to support you so that you can tell this story for the sake of posterity. Those coming after us have to pick up the mantle and go, but we must lay the foundation for them to do so. We are I join others to say we are very proud of you. We thank you for enduring to do this under the circumstances in which we find ourselves. To one of the speakers, Mr. Song, thank you very much for what you said about Spears Media. I am one of the beneficiaries, and I can tell you that Nijut is just the best person to represent us. And he puts the energy you don't believe you have in you so you can see yourself blooming. Thank you very much. And I can see also why other people may look low on SPA Media because it's you and me pushing it. I can see it, I can respect it, but we have to keep our heads up and stay there so that we don't get submerged under so many other forces. We are capable of doing it. And Nijut and Co, thank you for opening that opportunity for us. I remember when I wanted to publish my tiny little pocket book, and I said, you know, I've only known other Western platforms. I had not heard of Spears Media. And I was wondering whether anybody will be receptive of my little thing. But I did, and I found out it's a legitimate place to be, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Nimati, we are here to support you. And I'm not a cheap launcher, but I will get 10 copies and give 9 away and keep 1 at home. Thank you so much, my brother. Pour out the wisdom you have, and so that those coming after us might use it to make the world a better place. Thank you. I can keep talking because I never stop, but I'm stopping here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma Marie, as I fondly call you. There are lots of people lined up to be launchers. I am inviting Ma Yvonne Perfok.
Thank you, Niju. Congratulations, Daddy. I am so proud of you. We are all proud of you. And I know Dinga could have loved to be here. He loves things like that, but he has a band competition in South Carolina going on right now. So I'm going to hand over to Nitom, who has more to say on behalf of the family. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you all for being a part of this book launch ceremony. I know you have other commitments, but you chose to be here with us today. I am honored by this opportunity to say a few words. I have known Professor Gwanfogbe all my life. He is admired as a leader in the education sector in Cameroon. He is a talented teacher, author, family man, and mentor. He has taken upon himself the task of documenting and preserving for posterity the foundations of education in Basel Mission Cameroon and its extensions into present-day society. Dr. Gwanfogbe's work will give us an insight into our educational roots as a people and also lay a foundation for the next generation to build and continue to document our history in our own words. My father used to say, son, if you hide your wealth in your brain, no one can take it from you. I therefore urge everyone to get a copy of this book and write reviews when you get the chance. Thank you so much for your attention and for joining us in this celebration. And thank you, Dr. Gwanfogbe, for writing this wonderful book and for inviting us to be part of this event. You are an amazing author, teacher, and above all, father-in-law. Congratulations on your success. Your legacy will live forever. I will continue to pay my dowry with 20 copies. Thank you.
All right, Nitam, you spoke like a true son-in-law. Thank you very much.
What a humor.
Nitam. Yes, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. I would like to, and I just want to acknowledge Ma Lillian just joined us. She would be helping with managing as well. She is a managing editor, and she'll be helping us to spotlight our different guests and speakers. And the next person we are calling on is Etta Thomas.
Good evening. Congratulations, Prof. I just want to say that Prof Gwanfogbe is a very level-headed scholar. He co-supervised my PhD thesis with Professor Victor Julius Ngo. And permit me to say here that at a time when the relationship between the supervisor and the supervisee in this country as far as the PhD was concerned was always very tense, Prof made things very simple for us. The very first time I met him at Bust, he received me and we started working. I will be forever grateful knowing Professor Gwanfogbe. There is no doubt, even though I'm still to see the book, but I know the material of which he's made of. I just want to say once more, my mentor, congratulations. I am going to order for 5 books so that I can give 4 to the general public and keep 1 for myself. I'm also happy to have learned about Spear's book series. It's the very first time I'm learning about it. I want to use this opportunity to also say hello to Professor Nkwi of Leiden. Thanks very much.
Thank you, thank you, Ita. Thank you. I'm really happy meeting you again. You're going big.
Okay, bro. Thank you very much.
No, we'll talk behind the bar. We'll talk behind the screen. Don't worry.
Okay, bro. We'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Etta. We really, really appreciate you being here. I'm going to call on Ma and Domatop to be our next speaker.
Jude, I've admitted to Nixon. Nixon, I think he has finally coming.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So I think I'll take a back seat now, and hopefully Nixon will be able to take it over from here. So in the meantime, please spotlight Ma and Domatop for us, please.
I've asked them to unmute.
Okay.
Okay, if she's struggling, we would go with Obedi Akenji. After Obedia Kenji, we have Lepgang Wana. So any of those could be spotlighted. Obedia, you need to unmute. There should be something on your screen asking you to unmute.
Yeah, I just found it now. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah, I'm so glad that I was able to make it when my flight was being delayed. I was just like, how can I miss something like this? So I just thank God that I'm able to catch up with the launching. You know, I call Papa. He's my father, and he has been a strong inspiration. When he told me about this book, I was just so excited that you are retired but not tired, and Pa's brain is like an encyclopedia, and most of that knowledge, he has to put it in print material. I grew up in the church, so I know a little bit here and there about Basel Mission, but it will be so exciting, just to have an in-depth, right, of all the things that, Pa is writing in the book with respect to Basel Mission and education, and all the like. So I don't know the exact cost of the book, but I'm putting in $500. How many copies of books that I can get? That's the one that I want to get. And I'll get just like 10 copies or 1 or 2 copies. Then, I'll leave it to Pa to see the other people that can really benefit, from the $500 contribution. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Obedia. We truly appreciate you being here. Thank you for that amazing contribution to this launch. That is phenomenal. Thank you very much. Lepgang Wana, are you there? Invite Lepga to unmute. There are at least a dozen Lepga Wanas. So
yeah, but this is the real one. There's only
this
one.
This is the real one, yes.
Yeah. The other ones are ChatGPT. Good. So okay. I think my elder brother already set some of the context of this conversation, and in many ways, he's my father as well. So he's bought the books already for me. But I am here. Nimati, my favorite uncle, knows that I have challenged him on this topic of being tired. So because I think there's still more to come, and my pledge is to support his institutions that he has been linked with. So I'm looking at sponsoring 5 copies for the Presbyterian University in Bali and 5 copies for BUST. But also I will make a further pledge for 10 copies if he promises to do a volume 3.
Thank you very much, Lepga. Thank you. I don't think he's going to make that promise. We should rather hold you to honor your pledge.
I will do the original pledges, but I think the further one, we can still work on that, because yes, I think there's still there's energy in the tank to do it.
Indeed. He has lots and lots of people he's trained. We just heard from Eta, who would also be picking up that baton. So again, thank you for your support. We have you down for 10 copies for now, and we'll be following you up for another 10. All right, thank you so much. We're going to move over to Anne Domatop if she's ready. We'll just dedicate another 2 minutes to this process, and then we will switch gears. But please do not go away. We will come back to everybody, okay? So if you want to be a launcher, please stay on. You will all have your opportunity. We just want to keep the program flowing. So thank you for being here again. And is Anne Domatop ready now? Okay, so we'll call on just 2 more people for this segment. If not, we'll go to Daniel Gwanfogbe, and then after that, Emmanuel Nana.
There's Robert. There's Robert.
Okay. Okay. So any of those should be fine, yeah. Okay, good. Robert, you're welcome.
Yeah, greetings from North California. I must say that I happen to have been one of Prof's early students. when you read, a little bit about him, you said he started in 1973. I was opportune to be, a student in high school. Then at the time, it was a bilingual grammar school. Today it's Lycée Bilingue d'Application High School. He took us through high school from 1974 to 1976. And well, we got the A-levels, and from his inspiration, myself and others went ahead and specialized in history from Nkwi and other institutions until where I am here today. When I heard of this publication coming up not so long ago, you see, we spent most of part of his retirement time is here with us in Northern California. We spend our Tuesday evenings together on the CMF platform, and we learn a lot from his experience. He talked about this book. I happen to be a product of the Basel Mission. I could not hesitate to get the contents of this book. And I must say that earlier this morning, before this event started, I purchased one. But now that I've heard much about this, I will continue to support this venture with 5 other copies. I'll keep one for my family, and I will hand 4 to other fellow Basel missioners who went through this process. Again, Prof, congratulations. Very proud of this.
Thank you very much, Robert. We truly appreciate you. And thanks. All right, since we still have a couple of people, again, like I said earlier, we would limit it to 2 people. So Emmanuel, over to you. So after Emmanuel, one more Daniel, and then we will move on to the next segment. Okay, thank you.
Unmute yourself, Emmanuel.
Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Greetings to everyone on the call. Let me begin by congratulating Uncle for this major achievement. Uncle, congratulations. It was the philosopher Socrates who said, an unexamined life is not worth living. I would like to extend that and paraphrase and say, and unexamined educational path is worth nothing. We count ourselves very fortunate that we have someone who can help us to examine educational past. For most of us who started our education in Cameroon, and even those of us who went through what was a product of the Basel Mission, I think it's good that we take the time and look at what it is that we have gone through to be able to understand fully where we are today. And so I would want to recommend everyone on this call to get a copy of this book, and not only a copy of this book, but also other past books. I have here with me the other previous books. So we should not just be buying what is being launched today, but we should also, look at the other past books. I must confess I haven't read all of them, but they have been great reference materials when needed. And so, want to encourage everyone, buy a copy of the Basel Mission Education in Cameroon that's been launched today, and also the other copies of Changing Regimes and Educational Development in Cameroon as well. I am well connected, or not well connected, but a little connected with the education in Cameroon. And so I know there's many people who can benefit from this book. And so I would like to purchase 10 copies of the book. Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you very much, Emmanuel. We truly appreciate your presence here and for your support of the author and for this publishing platform. We truly, truly appreciate it. So we'll take one more person. I think, who was that? So
Daniel?
I think it was Daniel, yes. Sorry about that. So let's get Danielle, and then that would be it for this segment. We have lots of fun activities lined up. Please do not go away. we would invite everybody who wants to be a launcher to say a word to the author and to support the author as well. So please bear with us. Okay, Daniel. You need to unmute yourself, Daniel.
All right. I want to thank you all for this opportunity and for being here for the launch of Professor Gwanfogbe's book. Niju Fokwang, first of all, thank you for heading this, and I appreciate your presence in this forum. I think my older brothers and sisters spoke already, so I'm speaking on behalf of my little sisters. And I just want to thank Professor Gwanfogbe, as we call him, Daddy. I'm his son. I've known him since I was born, always in the educational mindset and writing books and books. And so this book is one of his latest accomplishments, and I do thank him for that and for the support. The wife who's sitting next to him has given him throughout these years for being patient with him while he does his writing. He's pouring out his educational knowledge for the rest of us so we can follow the footsteps. They truly say, if you don't know your history, then you wouldn't know where you're going forward, or you'll not know tomorrow. So I thank him for that. A couple of years ago, I did ask him, you're writing all these history books, what about the family history? And with his health, that he had problems with his health. So I did sit him down, interviewed him, had a video, so he could talk about family history also. So that's the fresh things we can keep and pass it over to our generations. On behalf of my sisters, I will support this book launch with 10 copies. And he did say he's tired. I've never known him as being tired. He's always on the computer writing. So there's got to be another book coming up, I know for sure. I thank you all for that. And thank you for joining this forum.
Thank you so much, Nidan. Truly appreciate it. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Thanks also for letting that secret out. Mati is not tired, contrary to what he's been telling us. We have a first-hand witness here. So Mati, I would go with someone else's version of whatever you're saying. We can all agree here that there's a book in the making in you. So Walter, I think we'll go back to our program.
Yes. I think if I could follow the program very well, we should be at the level of the review now. Am I right? Jude, again, you are muted.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say we're looking at item 6, number D and E. So we would invite Lilian to post the link. So I want to say that in addition to all your support, some of you may be out here in North America or in Europe, and you may want to recommend this book to your library. It could be a university library, or you may not be associated with it, but you might know a library that might be interested in this book. So Lilian will be posting a link. So please fill that link, and if you know a library that would benefit from having this book on its shelves, please make that recommendation. So this is something that we highly recommend. And we appreciate those who have bought copies to be given, to be donated to libraries and institutions in Cameroon. You know, you can also do so for other institutions out here. So you may take it to your county library. You may also encourage them to purchase copies. So I thought I should just add this, this little bit here. It's a very important point. This book is also going to be discounted. So we are running a discount. It is not reflected on the website at this point, but bear with us. It will be updated. For those of you who have ordered or pledged copies, we would follow up with you, but just keep in mind that this book is discounted by 25%. for today. It is originally listed at $25, and any good math student can tell us what minus 25% of that would be. All right. I think Lepga, are you here? You should be able to assist me with that. Okay. I think that's it. Before we proceed, we want to do an official launch. So this is, Walter, you have a copy of the book?
Yes.
Okay. And I think there are a few others who might have copies of this book as well. So this is where we do our formal ritual. So please, if you have a copy of the book, this is when we'd invite you to raise this book. We have somebody who would be on standby to take a screenshot. And if you have both books, I think, Emmanuel, I saw you had both books. You had Changing Regimes as well. So you may want to, hold this up. Yes. And then we would also do the gallery view. And this is also when you can just please put your video on. We would invite you to just share the author. You can clap. If you don't have a copy of the book, we know lots of people are planning to purchase copies for themselves. But if you are able to unmute yourself and to just put your video on as well, we invite you to do so. Everyone has been unmuted, so you should be able to unmute yourself. We're going to be taking photos. So please, 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 if you want to be seen, as opposed to just a dark screen, we invite you to hold your book. We know there are a few people who have a copy of the book. And then you can unmute yourself. You can also, and so we would do a countdown from 5. So please, if you're going to turn your video on for this moment, this is your moment to shine too. If you want to know that if you want the author to know you were here, please, we invite you to do so. I think you are here to support the author. So please put your video on, and Ma Lillian will help us. We could get a couple of people to take a screenshot, and we appreciate you being here. We have tons and tons of fun activities lined up, so please do not go away when this particular segment is done. We have a fun quiz coming up. I'll invite Ma Lillian to say a few things about that. So, Walter, are you ready? So if you have ever attended a Spears Books launch, this is the ritual. This is the moment we officially declare the book launched. Congratulations, Professor Gwanfogbe. You can cheer now. Clap.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, bro.
Congratulations, Daddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Then if I want to talk.
The ritual continues.
Indeed. So we're going to have a brief, should we have a brief interlude? I think our program has a brief interlude. Do we have that, or do we just power on?
Maybe we just have it for some few minutes.
We can power.
We should power on. Do people want to stretch their legs? Okay, fine. Let's power on. We have a recording of a book review, and I know that the reviewer is not here. Apologies, but we do have a short bio. And Walter will introduce Patrick Tata for us.
Okay. Okay? Do you hear me?
We can hear you.
5 on 5.
All right. That is good. Writer, critic, editor, human rights and good governance votary, Tanwi Patrick Tata holds 2 graduate and postgraduate diploma in education, a matrice in English studies, an MA in English literary and cultural studies, and is currently pursuing a scholarly investigation into the impact and implications of the world wars on contemporary views and lifestyles. He is a diversified author with a flair for both word, economy, and mellifluousness as essayist, poet, prose writer, and an academic, insisting on digesting social concerns with clinical intellectual component. He is a regional pedagogic inspector for English, but takes a social concerns with intensity.
If you want to be on camera, you shift
Sorry?
to the right. You put it here. It's going to highlight. Good. Good. You see that finger is saying click me. They click now.
I'm lost.
No, I don't think it's for
Proceed.
you. Can we mute ourselves?
All right. He is a regional pedagogic inspector for English, but takes on social concerns with intensity, being Northwest Region first Vice President of LICAM. LICAM is Ligue Camerounaise de droit de l'homme, la démocratie et la gouvernance. My God, this is very difficult. A national human rights, democracy, and governance league associated with CONAC, again French, La Commission Nationale Anticorruption du Cameroun, Amnesty International, and the International Federation of Human Rights. He is also vice president of Northwest West Anglophone Cameroon Writers Association, author and co-author of some 30 pedagogic books. He heads the Patamei Research and Editing Consultancy. This is the person who is to review, the surgeon that would digest the book of Professor Gwanfogbe.
Thank you very much, Walter. That was quite an introduction. Some of those words were very interesting.
Then I do speak over me. Next time I don't want to admit French there.
Okay.
It's related.
No worries, no worries. So please bear with me. Give me 1 second. I have to pull over his recording. So Patrick is not here with us. He sent a recording of the review. And if you give me a few moments, I would be able to play that video for you. So 1 second, please. Okay. I'm just opening the file, so 1 second, please. Can you all see?
I titled this review, Down the Sweltering Trenches of Education's Birth in Cameroon. Basel Mission Education 1886 to 1968 by Mathew Gwanfogbe is a spot-on focus on critical 82 years of education in Cameroon at its embryonic stage, a time when universities were unknown and when secondary education was still viewed as a rare prospect. The author's choice of focus on education is a clever preference, but the era he chooses makes it even more strategic. For the history of education is a remarkable marker of a society's growth structure, since education sweeps across all the arms of development. Focusing on Basel Mission Education in Cameroon is thus a high-pitched strategic endeavor to analyze the totality of Cameroon's societal realities. Basel Mission Education took over from British Baptists who had been on since 1844, a time frame mirroring the scratch start of very basic processes in the educational life of the people, but nonetheless constituting the foundations of development and political life. This happens to be the time of experimentation in a rather amorphous trial and error social structure. It is this time that foreshadowed whatever significant processes would ensue in Cameroon. So Mathew Gwanfogbe lucidly outlines the realities on ground in Basel Mission educational endeavors. He shows that both the British and American Baptists were circumstantially privileged to be part of the evolution of the educational system of Cameroon, and that the Catholics came in and availed themselves of advantages which the Basel Mission had hesitated to take, and perhaps were disfavored or denied the opportunities for. He outlines how rivalries created challenges and directed opportunities which were lost. And he outlines how rivalries created challenges and directed or redirected choices in the Basel Mission educational agenda. To him, it is a clear and not a matter of speculation that various governments, including German, French, and English, double-crossed themselves in obstructing or supporting the educational agenda. In these opportunistic and cross-purposed circumstances, the Basel Mission primarily experimented with educational policies, curriculum details, teacher training models, and educational programs that had to include core evangelization targets, while at the same time working out how to place mission-trained personnel in positions of influence in governments. The situational reality as painted by Gwanfogbe jolts assumption that missionary education was hogwash piety. It challenges the assumption that missions unquestioningly took the side of the colonial master, educating Africans only for colonial conveniences and aligning with the view of education as a racist agenda of exploitative collusion with colonialists against Black Africa. This in no way suggests that there were no errors, but that the errors more appropriately belong to the coil and not to the core in the strategic pursuit of the missions. In policy and perception, the Basel Mission unblinkingly used education as a base for the spread of unadulterated faith. Many of the missionaries courageously and diligently dared the challenging circumstances and should be acclaimed as they literally sacrificed their lives to put education on the pedestal of cogent social values. From their experiences in the process and eventual outcome, they are the bulwark of reference in multiple layers of reality, including curriculum development, political suavity, evangelism, people management, cultural integration and inculturation of Christianity with Africanity, not leaving out the strategic value of integrating the secular in evangelical governance. Amidst tensions, contradictions, conflicts of interests between rival groups, governments, and missions, the Basel Mission forged on and emerged with what constituted the agenda and educational springboard for Cameroon. Gwanfogbe's work is tidily streamlined for easy access. It merges dates, titles, and subtitles and directs the reader to the points of interest. The entire discourse is painstakingly validated by archival and bibliographic references as well as reports. So you have apt pictures, figures, and tables that make concrete pointers to the personalities and provide statistical evidence where needed. This academically validates the work, which is further authenticated by cross-references, an index, and an elaborate appendix. The academic refinement does not, however, distance the discourse from the lay reader, given the down-to-earth and real-life situation discussions. Besides, even the refined academic edges are captured in mellifluous linguistic terms. This combined complexity, provided by both sophistication and simplicity, makes the work a must-read and desk reference to all, especially educators, policy mappers, politicians, students, and the general reader for grounding in stakes of education and development in Cameroon. From this point, what the author leaves undone is the setup before the Basel Mission agenda was enacted, how African education was managed and to what purpose. That should be done. And if that is done, it would also be deemed necessary to plunge into more contemporary historical realities of education in Cameroon. Particularly, it would be of interest to see how abuses of the founded educational basics precipitated the current war in Cameroon. Before then, though, Education has suffered mangling at the hands of different colonial regimes as well as non-people-focused agendas of contemporary politicians. No work can be said to last the last work, which is why it must be clearly stated that Mathew Gwanfogbe achieves his goal, clinching the importance and deserved reverence owed to those who grovel to scoop from rough-hewn troughs down the sweltering trenches of Cameroon's educational infancy from 1886 to 1968. I think he does a marvelous job. Thank you.
Okay. That is really fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful review. We truly appreciate it from Patrick Tata. I should say that Patrick Tata has copies of this book in Cameroon. So for those of you who might be interested in purchasing a copy in Cameroon, he has copies. And so get in touch with us. We can put you in connection with Patrick Tata so that you can pick up your own copies. One thing that comes to mind even before we proceed, something that Dan said earlier about writing family histories. So we are talking about history here. So we have a history of the Basel Mission. There are many people here whose family histories are not documented. It's all oral. And when that favorite uncle passes on, that family history is gone. And then you cannot tell anything to your own children. You can't tell anything to the next generation. When you become a grandfather yourself, you're like, I don't even know who my great-grandfather was. So we do have a platform where people interested in telling family histories can do so. And we have a ghost writer. Not everybody has the patience to write. So if this message touches you and you think you want to pick up that challenge, we have a ghostwriter. I will not name that person right now, but if you are interested, please reach out to us and we would connect you with our ghostwriter who can help you to put your story for the next generation, for that next grandchild, for that next children that you may have and you want to pass on your stories to them. I know there are lots of you who might be interested, so please, again, get in touch. Walter, I think if we're looking at our program, since we agreed to power on, we would invite Lillian to supervise the next segment, which is item 9.
Sure.
Mali, we hear you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you're joining us. Thank you for being here. So as part of our launch, we try to have a little fun thing that enables our participants to know a bit more about the book, but also about the author. So I have dropped a link on the chat for you to participate in that quiz. So please follow that link. I will drop it again in case other messages have taken that. Okay, I see some players there already. So join on, then participate. And we have books to give away for winners. So please come on board and have some fun learning about the book. See how much you know for those who have the book. And those who are yet to buy, hopefully it piques your curiosity a bit more to get it. It's very important history, which is really readily not available anywhere else. And we are really truly honored that Prof Gwanfogbe chose Spears to republish this so that it's available widely. It's really fascinating history about our educational system that is really worth reading and knowing about. So do join that link and then let's have some fun. Just check.
Are you going to share your screen?
I'm going to share my screen right now.
Okay.
We have 6 players already. If you haven't joined, you still have time. So if you haven't joined, you can you see the link on there. But the one I shared on the chat is easy because you just click and you're on. So we have 8 players on. When we get 10 or more, we will proceed. If you haven't joined, go to menti.com and use that code you see on the screen. Otherwise, use the link on the chat. So waiting for more. And also while we're waiting, I just want to acknowledge Ni Charles Dovoma, who wrote on the chat. And he's going to purchase 11 copies. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much. So we have 9 players, one more to go. 10 players are ready. Okay, so the key or the trick with this game is speed and accuracy. So it's not just how soon you answer, but how accurate your response is. So be mindful of that, okay? Are you ready? Some people keep dropping out, but we'll proceed because of time. Okay. So each, you have 15 seconds to respond to each. Oh, you even have more time. What year did the Basel Mission arrive in Cameroon? Five seconds left. We have 8 responses. Oh, wow. Only 2 people got that right. It was 1886. Okay, let's see who got it right and how soon. Nice. Okay, eating, and I think that's Emmanuel. Well done. Obviously, you've read the book. Snuggles came in second. The rest, you still have opportunities to redeem yourself.
All right, I'm going to unmute everybody so that people can comment as they go ahead with their.
So next question. Where did the author of the book obtain his PhD? Was it Leeds?
So everybody can unmute themselves now. So if you want to comment as you play, that's fine.
Excellent. 5 people said University of London. That is the correct answer. Not Leeds. Okay. Somebody even said London School of Tropical Medicine. Okay.
Man, you misled some people with Leeds.
I was unable to open the link.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So Martha Zama got that quickest, but Emma Nana is still at the top. So who is going to dethrone him? More questions? Basel Mission were invited to Cameroon by the chiefs of the Cameroon coastal region. Is it true or false? Okay. It's false. So 6 people got that right. Well done.
The people came uninvited.
Well done. Okay, lots of people answering now, but Emma is still at the top.
Emma won.
He knows his stuff. He's ready. Okay. Question 4. Answer fast to get more points. Who was the first one in the grass field to welcome the Basel Mission? Know your history. Oh, wow. Well done, everybody. Amazing. Everyone got that right. His Royal Highness von Gadiga I of Bali was the first one in the grassfields to welcome the Basel Mission. And it's really quite fascinating history. Please read to understand that context more. So Nana is at the lead. Prof Mathew Zama is now in second place, and Lebga is there fighting in third place to get up. Keep pushing. Okay. Fifth question. The two Cameroonian languages used by the Basel Mission were? I'm not going to say anything, so I don't need people anywhere. Excellent. Wow, everybody got that right. Or 8 people. Excellent. Who got it quick and might move things? The leaderboard hasn't really changed, but those at the bottom, keep trying. Okay.
Which LabGuy is playing? Is it the LabGuy we know?
Or the one?
The Chat GPT version.
It's a real LabGuy.
The author began his career in education by teaching in which school? GBHS Bamenda, GHS Kambe, GBHS Boya, GTTC Bengui.
They distracted me and I pressed the wrong one.
Who distracted you?
Don't blame me, please.
You people were talking about which lab guy it was and you distracted me.
Blow your ears. Blow your ears.
Okay, 4 people got that right. It was GBHS Boya. Awesome. Let's see how quickly they got it and whether it changes anything. Okay. Lots of points. Oh, for Ni Edwin Jinimbam, who's now moved to the top. Displays Lebga. Lebga says we distracted him.
Your fault, yes.
Okay, an opportunity to redeem yourself now. The first Basel Mission Secondary School was? I know some people go by process of elimination. Excellent. Basel Mission College, Bali, which is today Cameroon Protestant College, Bali, or CPC, Bali. Joseph Mary College is a Baptist college. So it's included.
You try with that secretary.
Just for the fun of it. Who knows? Some people might. You know. Secretary had a big school, so my things say. Excellent. So Emma is holding on strong, but Martha is coming on. Chasing real close. Question 8. Basel Mission entered the Grassfield what year? Grassland. Sorry, yeah. Grassfield, Grassland.
Oh, no, grass. There's no forest field. Oh, no, grass.
Oh, one person got it right.
Yeah, 1903.
1903. So they arrived Cameroon 1886, but they got to the grass fields in 1903.
That's it. What's more?
Okay, thank you. Let's see how it changes the leaderboard. Excellent. Wow. One person who got it right.
Oh, wow.
Emma has been displaced from the top, but there's still chance. Might get on again. So question 9. Which of these textbooks by the author was written by the author and was used in secondary schools in Cameroon? You guys are really fast. So 8 of you already answered. Very good. 4 people got it right. Geography of Cameroon for secondary school.
Wow, that competition is stiff.
It's stiff. It's getting hot at the top. Okay, question 10. We have 2 bonus questions. So, Lina Weber reopened Basel Mission Girls School in Bafut after the war. What year?
Which of the wars?
The answers there is a giveaway already. Yes, 1947. Excellent. 3 people got that right. I'm sure there are lots of Weber girls in the house here. So shout out to all the Weber girls.
Emmanuel is back.
Emmanuel is back at the top. Good for you. Okay. Next question. 11. After World War I, Basel Mission Education was provided exclusively in British Southern Cameroon. True or false? You all are fast. You always finish before time even. True. Well done. Got that right. 7 people got it right. Let's see how that changes the leaderboard. Titan moved. Displays Lebga even further. Lebga, are you even seeing or is chat?
It's a case of small picking cutlass.
Sharpen your on. Sharpen your on. Sharpen your on.
Okay, final chance. Okay.
Last fight. Last fight.
Last fight. Strong man for last fight. We'll see. Another one about Weber. WTTC. Started in Bafut and later transferred to Mancon. Is that true or false? True. Yes. WTTC was transferred to Mancon, which is today PSS Mancon. Shout out to any PSS Mancon people in the house. And to all the WTTC women who are also called Weber girls after Lina Weber. So congratulations, all of you. Let's see who came out top. Excellent. So Emanana is our winner. Congratulations with 8,465 points. And Martha Zama is the second, gets second place. So thank you all, congratulations. Thank you for participating. Hope you all had fun and learned something about the book and the author. Those for the winners, the first prize is a copy of one of our books, which we've published called The State of the Continent, which just looks at the reflection on the state of Africa at this time and is published, is written by Professor John Fobajong, who is out in Boston. And the second prize is going to get a free copy of Escape from Prison by Mary Ngu, which we also published as PS. So please drop us your address. You can send it privately to Jude or myself, and we will have those books shipped out to you. Thank you. Thank you all for participating.
Lillian, thank you very much for doing this. Really appreciate it, and it was such a pleasure participating. I still bow my heart to Sister Martha.
It was a tough fight. It was a tough fight there at the time.
Emmanuel, you got the book, and I don't have the book. You
Yeah,
privileged to have
the
read
first
the
answer
book.
I had to change. The first answer, I had the answer in front of me.
That is
Thank you.
amazing.
Well, that was good. That was good. Thank you,
Interesting.
Dr. Zama, for participating.
Yeah, that was fun.
Appreciate that. That was fun. It's always fun. People look forward to this
Yeah,
segment.
that's true.
Yeah. And for those of you who are familiar with one of our books, we have, if you grew up in the 1960s, we have a book just for you. So we have a book launch coming up on the 13th of May about someone who grew up in the 1960s and wrote a very fascinating account of what it meant to grow up in the 1960s. So, and 70s too. So if you grew up in the 70s, you're also counted in. So please stay tuned for that. Walter, over to you.
I think now that we have done the quiz, and in fact, I'm so really fascinated with the way Emma has done it. And I want to congratulate him. He has really an in-depth, I don't know whether he's a historian, but I think that he has a good knowledge of history. Very, very good knowledge. I think we're almost moving to an end. Am I right, Jude? We should be at the end now.
Yes, we are pretty close.
Yes, because now it's already 9:01, but I thought that you could give some small music for some 2-3 minutes before we close the occasion.
Oh no, we still have Q&A. We're not there yet. We have Q&A.
Oh, you know, I misinterpreted Q&A with Lillian's test.
Yes, sorry, yes, sorry. So we do have the Q&A. And again, this is where we have people who might want to interact with the author. If they want to buy a copy of the book, it's also an opportunity to, again, announce that to us so we can follow up. We apologize. We have a technical issue with our website. This is the first time it's happened. It's down. Our website is down. So it's not happened before. So please do just bear with us. But if you want to place a copy, just again, text me or Lillian. We would follow up with you. So, Walter, I think what we'll do here is just invite people to, again, I'll spotlight the author for us, please.
Exactly.
And then we would invite people to, ask questions or comment. It doesn't have to be a question, a comment or a word to the author. And so we have 20 minutes for this segment. So if you want to speak, please indicate with your raised hand, and one of us will ensure that you are unmuted. All right, Nee Julius wants to go first. Nee Julius, go ahead, please. Are you there?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
We cannot see you.
Okay, let me. Yes. Can you see me now?
Let's try that.
Can you hear me? Can
Yes,
you hear me
can
and can
see
you see me?
We can.
No, what we see the name. I only see you very faintly.
No, we see you. We see you.
Actually, I'm calling from the Congo, and the lighting is not the best. So it's actually, I think, past 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. around here. So the lighting where I'm sitting right now is not the best. So I can't do anything better than that. But beyond that, I just wanted to thank. As Bankom Alex said, Nimati, that's the way we call him. He's our big brother. We always call him Nimati and Maryland for this wonderful gift to the world. You know, I often say that the history of education in Cameroon, especially in Anglophone Cameroon, cannot be complete without some emblematic figures that made it happen. I'm thinking about people like the school, the administrators we knew in those days, like Ihims Jacob, Anthony Ndi, Pa Sumbele, Pa Memo, Pa Yonkuma, Pa Body Lawson, Mrs. Neba, Ms. Lydia Fimba, Madame Gwen Burnley, and a whole host of others of Nimati's generation who made the educational system in Anglophone Cameroon what it is today. And I take this opportunity to pay him tribute on this platform and to really thank him for this gift to the world. As somebody rightly said, when we talk about history, we write more in terms of political history, economic history, or anthropological history, never ever about educational history. And education is itself demands further investigation, how it developed, how it grew, and how society was able to benefit from it, and how it was able to also benefit to benefit from society. And I should know that because when I was writing my own book, I was trying to research into the origins of the PNEU schools, the Parents National Education Union schools, and also about the kind of collaboration that existed between native authorities, private voluntary organizations like the churches for service delivery, especially in the areas of education and health. And I was doing this within the context of decentralized governance, just to make the point that, this kind of nexus works better in a system, in a context of decentralized governance. And that's when I came across Nimati's publication on education administration online. I think it was just about 1 or 2 pages summarized of a publication. I didn't see the entire publication, but I was able to draw a lot from it. So I really, really want to thank him again, for putting this together. Nimati, on the personal note, is also one person that's really, really influenced my life. I mean, it's a big brother that I truly, truly, truly respect. And I remember, I think in 1988, I was the vice principal of a private school in Bamenda, and we were due to start the GCE. That private school was the biggest private school in Cameroon at the time, with about 600 candidates at both O levels and A levels. And Nimati and my uncle, Dr. Babylon Jigum, they were worried whether I'll be able to perform that job of running the GC at a center that big. And I remember it was a Sunday, they picked me up, and I think I was with Bancom Alex. We went home. Myelen wasn't there at the time. I think she was in school, and Nimati told us, you guys know I'm a bachelor, just go to the kitchen and help yourselves. And while we did that, he sat me down and he told me exactly what it means to run the GC. They told me stories about people whose careers have been destroyed, people who have gone to jail because of the GC, and they made me understand the responsibilities I'll be faced with in the next 1 month. And it all dawned onto me what the sense of responsibility that I carried on my shoulders. Keep in mind that I was 23 years old at the time. And when you are 23 years old and you have big brothers like this, like Ban Jingum and Nimati, telling you things of that nature and putting you before your responsibilities, those are things that those are memories that will hardly ever leave my mind. So I really want to thank Nimati for this. And not to draw this further, I'm going to contribute $200 to this launching for 5 copies of books that I will talk with Lee Jude and Malidan privately to be shipped to Bancom Alexis address, the address in Maryland, from where I can pick them up when next I come to the States. Otherwise, Nimati, congrats.
Thank you.
And I yield back to you, Lee Jude.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Nee Julius. For those of you who know him, we had a book launch just about a month ago. We launched his own book, Renewing the Promise. It was actually one of our best launches ever. And if you missed that, there's a recording. Reach out to us and we're happy to share it. Thank you again, Nee Julius. We truly appreciate you being here. Walter, do you want to call on the next person?
Yes, I see Alexander Ngati. His hand is up. Alexander?
He spoke before.
But his hand is still up. Julius, put down your hand. Your hand is
Can
up.
you hear me?
Yes.
Is that Alexander?
Can you hear? Can you?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I'm very sorry that I'm driving. You know, I've been listening very keenly to everything else.
No, we can hear you.
You can?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I was just apologizing that I'm driving, but I've been keenly listening to everything else, and I'm going to ask back, Nimati. I think when I opened the launch, I said we were looking forward to hearing more from you, but you said you were tired, which your son came and said is not true, that you are always writing and always on the computer. And I also know that one of our brothers too actually had a pledge for your next book. I am a full bona fide product of the Basel Mission. Growing up, I knew it like Basi. It was not until later that I learned Basi was actually the Basel Mission, the way in Bali. All my life, I've been there. So, and the PCC today, which is the upsprung from the Basel Mission that you've well articulated, although I've not yet read the book, is not quite exactly what I grew up knowing. So if you say you are retiring and will not be writing again, and given the fact that we all believe what I said earlier, that sometimes it's not the message, it's the messenger. So who do you think would be able to write in a matter of fact what we currently have today in PCC?
Thank you so much, Banko. The truth about it is that I think I have prepared the ground quite enough. Right on this chart, as we're talking, I see about 2 or 3 of my younger ones that are prepared. There is also a young lady who has written a lot about, had her PhD, in which I took part in supervising on the history of women's education in Cameroon. And she's keenly following up this development. And I think she's one of those to write. Nixon is actually my academic job chair. And he has a lot more to fill up, and parts of manuscripts that I've started and abandoned, I've left them with him. Even some of my scientific articles are still with him for him to finish and publish. So you can understand. We cannot say you're tired and you continue, because you might spoil the whole thing.
But hopefully you're not too tired to do the family history, document the book, that one, very important.
Okay.
So between you and Dan, at least that one.
Yeah, I agree, please. Yes.
It's an important part of our social history that we document histories.
Thank you, Malilian. I just want to also insist, all of us who are in this house today and those who are not even around, please document whatever you can, even if it is just 2 pages of what you can know about the past in your family. Historians will be able to elaborate on that to give you something more concrete. I did some for some families, and unfortunately, the storage facility didn't work well, and I don't have. So let us take it as a duty. It's very important.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a very good advice. Those who have not done it yet, they should start doing it. Yes, any more hands up? I can see it.
Need Julius.
No, he's
okay.
No. I just,
yeah.
It's me again. It's me again. I
Okay,
just
no
came up
problem.
to briefly say that, I would side with Mathew on this one. Let us not push the man. He has planted the seed. Let the seed grow. We have a lot of young people now. It's up to them now to pick up the baton. And all of you, most of you on this call, you're authors, and you know how mentally and physically draining writing can be. I am suggesting that for all those that have Mathew has groomed over the years, or families that are interested in picking his brains, take up a video, maybe a video recorder or maybe a voice recorder, go to him and record something. Let him, he can, tell some of the stories that you can now transcribe and then see how you can analyze into some kind of a publication. So nobody's buying his case here. I decided I would buy his case here, that if the man says he wants to, take a backseat now and let those he has groomed do their jobs, I will strongly support that. I yield back to you. Jude.
Okay.
Thank you, Ba. Thank you.
Yes, Mathew should feel very good about that.
I can see Bola Jinimbam hand is up.
Yes. Bola, over to you.
Oh my God. Batney, everybody. Batney. I didn't know about this until yesterday, and when my big bro, Nidan, posted it on our forum. And anything that is like involving the family or anybody that I'm very close to, whether it be, of course, BCA, USA, San Jose, or Northern California, anybody, I'm just going to support. I just really want to take this opportunity to really just say, Uncle Mathew, dear godfather, who's known me since I was a baby, I cannot be more proud of you. This is just one of the many accomplishments in this family. And honestly, this is just wonderful. And as you said you're going to retire. I'm taking that with a grain of salt, because something tells me you got a lot more that you want to say. And honestly, you should say it and write it all down. And I think it is really important to learn about our history, especially family history, and just our past, especially as our culture, because our past tells us who we are, because it lets us know who we've been. And in those memories, that's what us in the present, we move on. And also, I think one uncle, New Julius Fondong, about you were talking about passing this down to the next generation. Well, let's just say that I have a good feeling that some more that we really pass it down to those in my generation and as well as the next. I think we're still preserving a lot of history, and we're gonna really preserve that amount of history, if you understand what I'm saying. But I think I can speak for the entire Jinibam family, unless my Uncle Charles or my dad, Banji, or Auntie Helen or Auntie Hilda, Auntie Melina, anybody wants to speak. But I'm just very appreciative of this day. I'm appreciative of this moment. And I mean, Uncle, I'm just so proud of you. Really proud.
Thank you.
Also, I'm not just saying this, but I really believe that I'm like, from both sides of the family, there's like a bunch of leaders, a bunch of natural born leaders. And Uncle Mathew, you're one of them. From the Jinibam side, from the Fogam side, Gwanfogbe, Foje, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm surrounded and blessed to be surrounded by leaders who are showing me how to be even a better leader myself, as also chair of the education committee. And every day I'm just learning how to become a better leader and learn to be a better leader. And what you're doing with this book, which I'm definitely going to do my very hardest to link.
Yeah, Bola, I think we have only 1 minute left, and I see Merabi there.
Yeah, I'm just so proud. I I'll just go on. I can go on, but yeah, thank you.
I know, I see you can go, you can really go. Mirabel? Oh, Mirabel. Yeah, we're not seeing anywhere.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Good
evening, Mirabel.
to the organizers of the food event. I want to thank you so much for bringing me on board. I've been following up keenly and I'm really fascinated with what is going on here. I call him, you said it's Pa Mati. We fondly called him Pa Gwan. I met him way back 2002 in ENS family. He was my lecturer. And later on, he was appointed as the director delegate and was my supervisor. He encouraged me so much so that I decided to follow his footsteps. Then when I went to higher ENS 2008, it so happened that Pa was sick. I went visiting him and something struck me when I saw him on a sick bed with a laptop. And I was like, if Pa at this age is still this enthusiastic, why? What am I doing here? So I said, I want to be like him. So a few years back, I enrolled into the PhD program in the University of Banenda. Fortunately for me, the Department of History selected him as my supervisor. So Pa carefully pruned me into education history. Like he said, I am the person. In September 2022, I defended a PhD thesis titled Female Western Education in the British Southern Cameroon, 1916 to 1961, with an excellent grade. I want to say thank you so much, Pa. Congratulations. You have done a good job. And if you are tired, I think it's right for you to hand over the baton of command. I want to promise everyone here this evening that I will not fail you. Since you have decided to hand over the baton to me, I have taken it proudly. I am proudly an educational historian. Thank you so much. Have your rest. We'll continue to pray for you and family, and to say thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
All
Mirabel.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. You are the
Thank
best.
you, Dr. Sitang. Any more hands up again?
I haven't seen. Oh, Najla has
Okay. Ma's hand is up.
Yes, I raised my hand for a long time, but I thought I would talk maybe
No,
almost
it was
loud.
confusing because I thought that it was Prof Gwanfogbe's hand.
Well, we share the same screen.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry. I
No,
it
it's
did not
okay.
occur to me, and I don't think Jude even saw it the way I was saying.
I think this is the right time for me to talk.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Being my closest neighbor, I think between the two of us, I'm the talking one, but today I'm not going to talk much. I just want to thank me, Jude, and Ma Lillian for this big opportunity you've given family and friends to celebrate Nimati. There was a time in our lives that they were calling him Mr. Nimati because everybody thought that was his name, his real name, but I think it is just out of respect, the traditional respect that they've been giving him. Everybody calls him Nimati, even the young ones in the family. And I think for my married life with him, Nimati has remained the Nimati I knew from day one, and he's never changed. And for that, I thank God. Thanking God because it is God's grace. As everybody has said on this forum, I think all the accolades they've given him, all the respect and everything they've said about him, as his wife has said, it is true. And I want to thank you all for being here to celebrate him. I was so impressed when I saw Julius Fondong on this screen and Charles Dovoma. I want to thank them very specially to have been decided to take off their busy time off from their busy schedule. Even Bankoma knew he will be here because I know who he is and what he can do when he wants to do it. I just want to thank everybody who is here wholeheartedly for taking off time, your busy schedules, to come and, celebrate Nimati. For a long time now, Nimati has always been writing. Honestly, he writes all the time. He's always on his computer, on his phone, writing from day one. There were times I would even say, I'm talking to you, you're not listening to me. What are you writing? But I see it pays off for documenting history. History is something that we value a lot. Many people don't value it until when you reach a certain age, you will know the value of history. And the history of education, to me, where we are now, is what some of us in Cameroon should know about our country, because it is affecting us today, whether we like it or not. I just want to thank you all for keep taking this time off to be here with us. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Auntie.
I think the last person should be, I see Martin.
Yes, thank you very much.
I personally know Martin, but I've not seen Martin for ages. I know you when I was teaching Bishop Rogan. I used to come to see our kids.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, my kids went to Bishop Rogan.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure. I had never met Dr. Gwanfogbe before, but I've heard a lot about him. I happen to be, I'm a Catholic journalist, and I happen to be, have a meeting with Archbishop Paul Vedekov and other Catholic officials in Bamenda, and they were talking about Catholic education came up, and the name of Professor Gwanfogbe came up, and Archbishop Paul Vedekov was not someone who was very effusive in his appreciation, but he did actually, talk very, very fondly of Professor Gwanfogbe. And, so it's a pleasure, sir, to meet you. I never known you before. So, I will certainly get a copy of your book and read it. I haven't read it yet. So I just thought I would step in and appreciate your work. And education is like you, our country now is going upside down in very many ways. And unfortunately, education is also quite a victim. But when we look at contributions from people like you, you've done the best you can, and you can, be proud of what you've done. And, as I say, I heard of you from very high circles in the Catholic Church, very appreciative of your work. And just very quickly, since we're running out of time here, Professor Jude did talk of the necessity for people to document their history and their own, biography. I'm one of the persons who was, documented my own book, my own biography. I'm actually an author of Spears' book. I have a book there, From the Highlands of Nkwi to the World. That's my own biography. And, I am ready and at any time to join anybody, even like you, sir, who, feeling too tired. You want to write your own history instead of, the history of other people, education as you have done. Just give me a call. I will be there. We can work on it together. Anybody else who is open to that, writing their own history, writing their own biography and the history of their people, just give me a call. I'm just a mouse click away or a phone call away, and we can talk about that. Thank you very much. I wish you the best. God bless you.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much. Jude.
Thank you. I've seen someone, I think Pa Tatzong would definitely, I would love to read his biography. He's one of our icons. So Pa Tatzong, I know you are hearing me.
Hi, yeah.
And I hope you'll be getting in touch with Mr. Jumbam so that story will be told for the next generation.
Yes, I want to thank Mr. Jumbam before anything. I have acquainted myself with his writings from Spears, and I am really looking forward to meeting him and reading more of his works. I thank him for the encouragement. Now I welcome the government delegates, my government delegate, Pa Tatzong Abende.
Please unmute. You see the thing on your screen that says unmute? Pick it.
Unmute.
You will see a message on your screen saying the host is asking you to unmute. Just click OK.
Mama Lilian, you can unmute him now.
I can't do it from here. He has to answer on the prompt.
Oh, okay. Jikana.
So has he succeeded? No, not yet. Okay, so everyone can unmute themselves. Just try to unmute yourself.
I think he's trying to get help.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've disabled that option. If you can hear me, just try to unmute yourself now. No. Okay. He might need some help.
Yeah.
So we just want to, I think, maybe add another 10 minutes or so before we wrap up. So if there are people who would like to
let me
talk to,
let me acknowledge others who have bought copies.
Okay, please go ahead.
Looks like Pa has help now.
Sure.
There. Perfect.
Our guest of honor, Professor Gwanfogbe, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving me this wonderful opportunity to say a word. When once you are asked to talk after a lot of people, knowledgeable, eloquent, and all whatnot, you have virtually nothing to say. I just want to say that, Professor, you've done your duty, a duty for which would have been beyond pardon if you didn't do it. I say this because in education, you have been a teacher, you have been a principal, you have been a provincial delegate, you have been National Inspector of Education, you have taught in the university, you have been the director of ENS, and so on. All this knowledge, you need to leave it to posterity. I want to use this opportunity to thank you, to congratulate you, and to say that your reward will be great in heaven. I want also to recognize that behind every successful man, there's always a very powerful woman. Mylene, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best. You have just started. You still have a long way to go. Go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Pa Abel, they had already supported us by sending $100 to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pa. Thank you, Pa. And so, Pa, I'll be following up with you. You heard me now.
Yes, I know. I know. Thank you very much.
I want to hear your bio.
Yes, you get it.
Yes, we have to work on that. Yes. And Martin Jumban is here. We'll make sure that he helps.
Let me have your coordinates, please.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We'll follow up with you, Pa. Right. Walter, are you there? I think it looks like we are.
I wanted to announce that Doreen wrote on the chat. Is it Doreen or Dorian?
It's Doreen.
Doreen, sorry. Yes, Doreen Goran. We'll get 4 copies of the book. Also, Dr. and Dr. Nukuna out of Delaware are getting 5 copies of the book. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Moderator.
Good, thank you. I think we have, if I have anything to say, and in front of me, I think we have literally come to the end of this program. And I wish to thank everybody. He has gone beyond just book launch, very inspirational advices for those of us who have never bothered to think so much about family histories and our biographies. We should not wait for the day we death will come and take us and we page an 80-year-old life history in half a page. Write the history as it is. I'm writing my own. My own is close to 200 pages and I'm putting it in volumes. Not as old as I am, but as young as I am. So my grandmother's history is there and trying to comb it all along. I think that this book launch is one that is exceptional. And I want to thank Pa Gwanfogbe and his better half, because it is not just about talking about the book. We have gone beyond the book. And so there are particular takeaways that we are carrying. In a very polite, as usual, Pa Gwanfogbe has handed over to us his successors. So we know who to go to now. So Pa, I've withdrawn the assignment that I gave you at the beginning. I've withdrawn it now. So you have handed over the job. Yes, we know that Taco is there. We know that Mirabel is there, and then fine. So at the end of the day, Jude and Lillian, I think that I want to thank everybody for you people to create digital links, making all of us to be here to honor past work. Of course, this book will definitely come to African Studies Center because Jude and myself, we're trying to see how African Studies Center can be buying books directly from Spears Media. So, thank you so much. So, Jude, the last thing.
Thank you. Wow, that was phenomenal, Walter. Please join me to thank Walter for moderating this so eloquently. You've done a wonderful job. I truly appreciate it. Again, like I told everyone, you have been a staunch supporter of this platform from day one. You've been with us throughout and you're still giving. We could not be more grateful. Thank you for being here, for all those who were here, for our chief launchers, for the launchers, for everybody who is placed a copy. We appreciate you for taking the time to be here. Lots of Spears authors here too. We really appreciate you. I'm not sure we could even cite all of them. Lots of Spears authors here, but we appreciate you being here. We have an event coming up, May 13. We'll be launching a book. It's called CB's Adventures in Alaptana. It's a biographical fiction of a young woman who grew up in the 1960s. I think lots of people, it's still very much in line with some of the things we've been talking about here. If you have a copy of that book, you would see what a grinding machine looked like in the 1950s. For those of you who had the fortune to go grind corn, you would see, you know, what that machine looked like, and tons of many other fascinating things. So I think I would like to invite everybody to reconvene on May 13 so we can all celebrate that book. The author is Ma Mary Fossey Banteku. I think she's supposed to be here with us. And we would reconvene on May 13 to celebrate her once again. I want to thank Ma Lillian, my better half as well. She's been supporting in the background with making sure that people are spotlighted. And I'm just very grateful. There's no way I could have done this by myself. I know people are saying, thank you, Nijut. Well, it's a teamwork, And there are many of us. Thank you, Womai, another team member. Lillian Atanga was also here at the very start. Thank you for being part of this team. And we will continue to push forward to ensure that our stories are told and that everyone who would like to tell that story is not prevented from doing so because they do not have a platform. This is the platform. So thank you once again. We understand we've taken so much of your time. You can go on now to, I know Walter wants to go to bed. And
no, not now. I want to rush to the supermarket and buy my beer. I want to go to the supermarket. I want to buy my tea. I'm not going to bed now.
All
right. Be careful.
You better go before it closes.
I want to buy my beer.
All right, we understand that. Thank you. You would
Thank
not
you
go to
very
bed
much.
now.
Thank you.
Yes, but we appreciate you. And again, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you again in May.
Thanks, everybody. You have a
We'll
great day.
stop the recording
All
right
right.
now and the broadcast, and then we can have informal.
Thank you, Mali. Nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye, Rose.